What's up everyone, welcome to the channel. And to first point out, the audio sounds a lot better because I ordered myself a new mic. So for future videos, it will sound a lot better and solo streams. And in today's video, it will be part 1 of many parts of me trying to complete Assassin's Creed 4 using only fists. And to clarify the exceptions to this challenge, is only where if the game forces me to use anything but my fists. So the only thing I have to worry about is just the ship battles, because obviously you can't bring fists to a ship battle. Anyways, if you want to see more of this, then like the video, and I would really appreciate it if you subscribe to the channel. Anyways, with that out of the way, let's get on with the challenge. So to start, I obviously met a new game, and then after doing that, we're immediately attacked by a ship. The captain wasn't too bothered to even drive the ship. He probably doesn't even know how to drive it to begin with. So he wants me to drive it, so I did. We chased the ship, I couldn't catch up to it, but God did me a favor and struck a lightning bolt at it, which helped me out immensely. We took down the ship, and then after that, there's an assassin in there, and he just wanted to say hi. But luckily, our ship blew up, so we don't have to get killed by him. We get knocked out and almost drowned because we were daydreaming.
Is it dangerous? Edward? Privateering. Is it dangerous?
Shut your fucking gob or I'll fill it with shot, you hear me?
And we wake back up and we go up the surface and swim over to land. Shortly after, we met up with the assassin and he tried scamming us.
Havana. I must get to Havana. Well, I'll just build us another ship, will I? I can pay you. Isn't that the sound you pirates like best? 100 escudos. Keep talking.
Will you or won't you?
You don't have that gold on you now, do you?
Edward did not like that, so we started chasing after him through the jungle. As I approached him, he kindly asked me to stay away from him or he'll get a restraining order on me.
Keep your distance!
I ignored his plea, so I chased after him and tackled him to the ground. Now, I'm not sure if that tackle killed him, but I don't know, I think he's just sleeping. We retrieve a letter from the assassin's body. Upon reading the letter, we learned that the assassin Duncan was supposed to meet Governor Torres in Havana, and he was supposed to give him a Rubik's Cube of some sort that was made out of glass. Anyways, we took his stuff, his clothing, and his identity, because why not? We tracked his body to the bush, totally not suspicious by the way, and then we headed off down the cliffs. Now, we did see some soldiers surrounding a merchant, and they wanted my help getting him up, and so I did help them. We talked to this merchant, and his name was Bonnet, and he thought we were a pirate, which we totally aren't by the way. Totally not. And we settled on going to Havana because that's where he was going to begin with. And so we swam to his ship. I got there first because he took his sweet time going back to his ship. And then we sailed off to Havana to meet the governor. Oh boy, it's my favorite part of the game. Now we meet this redhead chick, and she wanted to make sure that we weren't dead. After she made me do some tests, we quickly made our way to the elevator so that I can get on my Animus and continue playing the game. But before we could get on the elevator, this redhead wanted to give me a tablet, and as I waited to get my tablet, I tried to get a coffee, but it seems like this coffee guy was on his break, contemplating his life choices.
Why are we still here? Just to suffer?
And so we went to the elevator, and then we meet the redhead's boss who says some cringy shit.
The pirate.
Shut your fucking gob.
As we arrive my office area, we meet John Smith from Microsoft, who is getting rid of viruses from my computer. And then I went ahead and went inside the Animus. After we arrived to Havana, Edward thirsts for violence, a drink. So he asks Bonnet to lead the way to the nearest bar so he can start a fight, get a drink. And along the way, we went to a store and got ourselves a sword, which will be useless for the rest of the run. And after that, Bonnet for some reason has short-term memory loss and asks me to get to a vantage point so that we can find the bar area. And as I synchronize the viewpoint, Bonnet gets robbed even though he has a weapon of his own and doesn't use it. And then I start chasing the thief, the crook. I did tackle him and I didn't let him back up. As I headed back to Bonnet, Edward decided to pull a little magic trick to one of the soldiers. I guess they didn't see that coming. We went into the bar and then this guy started making fun of us for having friends. I kindly asked him to go away before I asked an adult for help.
Shut your fucking gob or I'll fill it with shot, you hear me?
The bully instead uncovered my hoodie, so I assaulted him. Fair trade if you ask me. His buddies weren't too happy about what I just did, and so they started beating me up. Now all of them could have jumped at me at the same time, but for some reason they started attacking me one by one, so I was able to beat them up easily.
One more! Come on!
After the fight, soldiers started coming, but I ran away before any of them could even see me, which meant that I unintentionally framed Bonnet for being the assaulter. After we ran away, we met back up with Bonnet, who was all bruised up, and he explains that our stuff was taken from the soldiers, and among those items that were confiscated was the Rubik's Cube that we had to deliver to Governor Torres. Bonnet then suggests that we follow two soldiers that were nearby and possibly lead us to our confiscated items. And so we followed them all the way to the gallows area, and they talked about a captain having a key. So we followed the captain, and we kindly asked him for the keys. And then we went inside the fortress that contained our items. The soldiers there greeted me with open arms. They were very kind, and they let me through and get my items. After retrieving the Rubik's Cube, I went back to Bonnet, and I told him too much of my personal information.
Hey, Bonnet. The name's Edward, in truth.
Before we were about to meet Governor Torres, we met two of his accomplices, a pirate hunter and a French cowboy. After we greeted each other, we shot some dummies, and then Ducasse asks me about my lack of wrist blades, and so I told him that I didn't need any because my fists are the only weapon that I need. Finally, we meet Governor Torres, and now I think he's either going deaf and blind, or he's just too focused on reading the letter. Either way, I explained to him my lack of a rival, and I gave him the Rubik's Cube that he so dearly wanted. He admires the Rubik's Cube as if he had just collected an infinity stone. And then told us to meet him in a room. Torres explained his evil plan, and at the same time, I robbed the Templars, and they seemed to be okay with it. The Grand Master asked me to meet him by the docks so that we could talk to a sage. And before I met up with him, Bonnet almost blows my cover. But luckily our charisma stats were very high, so we were able to make an excuse rather quickly.
He just called you Edward.
I've never met this man in my life.
Ah, well done.
So we met the sage that is very important, and he didn't give any information whatsoever, so we escorted them to the Grand Master's estate. And along the way, trouble was ensuing, so I went on the rooftops so that I could take out the hoodlums first, then take care of the ones on the ground. After I took care of the quiet kids, more of them appeared, and one of them shot me with a sleeping dart, but that didn't stop me. The sage was freed, and so I chased him, and I tackled him on the roof. The sage was back into the Grand Master's custody, and I was paid more than what Duncan offered earlier this playthrough. Edward realizes that he has been scammed again, and because of that, he wants to free the sage so that he can get information on where the observatory is, so that he can sell it to the right person and become richer than Jeff Bezos. So I made my way to the estate, and I made sure that no one saw me, and I took down anyone in my view so that no one will be alerted. I picked up a key after beating up one soldier, and then I went inside the building. After going inside, it has seemed that the sage escaped, and then the Grand Master and his buddies were right behind me, and they thought I released the sage. They asked me for my name, and I told them to piss off, and then they took me to the Shadow Realm. And that ends the first part of the No Fist challenge. Now, I know that the video was short. I didn't expect it to be short. I'll make sure to make the next videos longer. And if you liked the video and want to see more, make sure to like, and I'll see you guys next time.